Have you had another encounter, John? Because I know
No,
you had a 10 when you were 10, but now have you had another encounter with UFOs?
no. No, I have not. Ever since I had the experiences when I was about 10 years old, apparently they didn't like me after that, and I had no further contact whatsoever. And I've been told there's lots of different explanations for that. Some people say it's blood type. There's like certain blood types they don't like or don't want or like, and some people say it's DNA that doesn't match to what they need or something. But yeah, I had no continuing contact after those incidents.
Wow.
Well, that's their loss, John.
There's their loss, John. I'm telling you. And now you became that person that wants to investigate it. Maybe that's why you were chosen at 10 years old, because that was the reason that now you're, you were prepared and you were, got the knowledge, and now you're doing all this investigation that is the proper way to do it. And you have your books now to acknowledge what you found. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a great coincidence, except that I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in a lot of things, but not coincidence.
Everything happens for a reason.
For a
Maybe
reason.
we're not aware of that reason.
Exactly.
But something's going on.
Right.
And I did have another question about the clear hearers.
Oh, sure.
The book about the supernatural abilities that people may possess. I wanted to know how many people that you worked with, I guess, during the research for that book, how many clear hearers were actually like completely unaware of their gift. They had no idea that they could communicate or possibly, hear this great voice.
Most of them don't have any idea they have this ability, specifically because this tends to happen to them maybe once or twice in their lives, because it happens through the severe emotional distress of great crisis and great very highly stressful situations, like their lives being in danger, and suddenly a voice will come to them and give them a solution. And so many of them don't understand that this is actually an ability that they have, that they could actually perpetuate in their own right on a consistent basis if they learn how. So it starts out just with some sort of a crisis situation where they need help, or they just think their lives are over, and then suddenly this voice will come to them and provide them a way out. And that's usually how that begins. And most people never pursue that.
Yeah.
They don't pursue that, but that's what the clear hearers is about.
And have you actually heard that voice? Are you a clear hearer?
Yes, I have before. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And how what kind of voice is it? Is it your same voice it's kind of like your mind speaking back to you?
Does it have a gender?
Yeah, does it have a gender?
It tends to be, and again, this is case studies in my books and so forth. It tends to be your own voice, but with whoever you are, your own voice, but with an authority that you've never recognized in yourself.
Like clarity and assertiveness.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, exactly.
Very
Because
cool.
you ask a question and then they respond to you.
Well, theoretically, that's the way it should work.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Then I think I have a little bit of that, Vanessa.
There you
Because
go.
I do ask
There
a
you go,
question.
Claudia.
And I think all of us kind of have that a little bit, in us.
That's like the original source, right? That's
The original
universal
source.
soul
Yes.
that we're connecting to. That's how
That's
I
it.
perceive it when I hear that.
Yeah, because have you heard like a little voice inside of you that tells you?
Oh, of course.
I have heard it too, So I thought, but now you're kind of sort of letting us know that is an ability that we all have that we didn't know we have. I can't wait for your book.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, wow.
There's
Excellent.
also a lot of talk about artificial intelligence that's been coming up a lot lately. And I feel like on both sides we hear a lot of stuff. like NASA's promoting it, with artificial intelligence bots that they're, bringing out to Mars, and they're going to have them on like every space mission now. That's what they're in the works. And then we have people like Elon Musk, who's like warning us that this could be like the end of our lives, and maybe we should be regulating it. And I just want to know, like, what are your thoughts on artificial intelligence?
That's a great question.
Is it something that we should be worried about? Is there a connection between this and our
in the UFOs too?
Yes,
because
in the outside
they're really more intelligent than we are.
Well, I would always be concerned about anything that NASA says or promotes or recommends, because how are you going to trust an institution that doesn't address the most basic things, like why do you cut the live feed every time? Dozens and dozens of examples over the years, and then you don't address things. And why would you think that anyone will believe anything that you say when clearly you're not in charge of what's happening over the earth, and you're trying to cover up that fact that you're not in charge of the space immediately over the earth. Somebody else is. And your only job is to deceive us on a constant basis, to pretend that you know what's happening above the Earth's atmosphere. So I will always be where, and I think most awakened people have caught on to NASA and what their real role is. If you wanna know what their real role is, just go look. Just go look at any of the pictures they provide of the moon or of Mars, and then go look at the real pictures of what the moon and Mars actually look like and what's really going on in those areas. And you'll see grid lines. You'll see structures that have been built. You'll see civilizations on there that have been created by intelligent figures, and it's obvious that it's there. And NASA doesn't address any of that. There recently, people have found pictures of Mars showing green forests. It appears to be green forests, and NASA doesn't address that. So how can any awakened people sit and listen to anything that NASA says seriously, thinking that there's truth in it?
No, I agree. I can agree with that. And I would love to know, John, where would we find those real images of Mars and other planets?
Oh, there's actually Google Mars. There's Google Mars imagery that you got to download some software onto your computer, and you got to if your computer fills the requirements that are needed, and then you can actually go and navigate and it's a little tedious because it takes a lot of work and it's a lot of clicking there, and there's people who actually enjoy that sort of thing, and so they'll do it for you. And if you go on YouTube, you can find some of those people who've done the work already, because it is a lot of work. I mean, you're talking about many, many hours to actually sit and do this and focus and refocus go and find grids, go find the grids, and then, and hopefully find the grids that haven't been blurred out, because some of the grids are blurred out because there's things they don't want you to see. But they can't blur them all out, because you're talking about an entire moon, an entire planet. Mars, you're talking about an entire planet, so they can't catch every anomaly. And so there's people who sit for hours and hours, and they'll actually do the analysis for you, and that's on YouTube. It's available out there, and you can find it. And so all you got to do is go on YouTube and put in forests on Mars, and you will actually find the actual Google Mars imagery where people have done the work and they found the grids. And then what that does is you can verify it for yourself, because they'll give you the exact grid coordinates of where that is. And then if you want to corroborate it, you can actually go on Google Mars and then find the exact same longitude and latitude and find that same grid and then verify that it's really there. There's forests on Mars.
Wow, that's incredible.
That is. That is. I have to get that.
Yeah, it's fascinating to find out.
That's crazy. And I do have one last question for you, John. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us.
Oh, my pleasure, Vanessa. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just wanted to know, if you had the attention of everyone in the world for 5 minutes, right? It's like literally everyone, no interruptions, live TV. What would you say? What would you want the world to know?
What would I want the world to know? I would want them to know that alien visitors are real, that they are really visiting Earth, they are really visiting human beings, that all the nonsense that the governments say and the organizations that work for the governments like NASA is all nonsense. Don't believe anything they say. Don't believe anything the governments tell you. Mainstream media, ignore it completely. Don't ever watch corporate media ever again. And that alien visitors are real. They are visiting everyone. They are visiting people here on Earth. And there are good ones and there are bad ones. And we need to find out the difference really fast, because this phenomena is only increasing, and we're reaching a crescendo point. We're reaching that final pinnacle where there's going to be the final revelation of alien visitors, and we're approaching that point quickly. So we need to get together. We need to stop believing the institutions that are lying to us, and we need to start believing each other, and we need to help each other to understand the differences, because both types of alien visitors, they are coming fast, and we need to be with the good ones and avoid the bad ones.
Wow. Now you left us thinking there.
Yeah.
You left us thinking, John. In knowing that there's good ones and bad ones, we need to be aware, and you need to teach us more, be out there more, teaching us which are the good ones and which are the bad ones, so that way we're careful.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have to keep our eyes and our ears open.
Our eyes and
Definitely.
our ears open, definitely.
That is crazy. Thank you so much again, John, for joining us.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Claudia.
And you guys can check out John on his website, johntambabooks.com.
Yeah.
He has a few amazing books coming out, like we did discuss, like the Para Investigators, as well as the Extra Dimensionals and the Clear Hearers.
Yeah. It's
is
been an
really-
exciting hour, Vanessa. It's been an exciting hour. We could talk to John another hour,
Definitely.
right?
Full of a lot of information, a lot of stuff. We want to just
Thanks,
thank you guys
guys.
here once again for joining us. It's been a great show. We had a great guest, John D'Souza. And please come back, check out more stories, and hear about what else is going on in our universe.
Yes, that's it. Keep watching Believe.